What sticks out to you this morning?
Well, obviously Clay's performance, just amazing. One of the great individual performances I think we've ever seen. Um, but I think what stands out the most is just our team's grit and hanging in there after getting blown out twice in Oklahoma City to show that kind of heart and grit was great. And we just hung around long enough to take the game at the end.
What did you think of Andre's play, especially the way he finished that game?
Yeah, Andre was great. I mean, he's always kind of our unsung hero. You know, he never has the numbers that jump out at you on the in the box score, so people don't write about him or show him much on the highlights. But he's a phenomenal defensive player, and he's an incredibly intelligent player. Settles us down on offense and takes the toughest assignment on defense.
Steve, how was describe the flight home?
Flight home was great. It was it was a long flight, but didn't seem nearly as long as the one after Game 4 going home. So it was a lot of relief and just nice to come back home and still be in the series and have a chance.
This past week, what have you learned from yourself, from your players?
I haven't learned anything from myself, but I've learned that our players are tough. They're mentally tough. I don't know if I really learned that. I already knew that, but they firmly confirmed that. Correct. So it was great. It's been a great comeback, but now we still have to play. We still have another game.
Steve, you weren't with this group when they played that Game 7 against the Clippers. Has there been any discussion about that or the lessons learned from that?
If there has been, it would have been between the players. Our staff, none of the staff was here. Well, actually, Chris DeMarco was here, but everybody else was new after that. So we haven't discussed that.
With and against guys who could really take somebody's heart by the way, if they scored a lot, whether it was Michael or Kobe, I mean, the way they would go after people mentally, they could destroy people. And Andre always has to guard that guy. How difficult a job do you think that is, and how difficult a job is it for him?
Well, the job is difficult, but he's made for it. He really is. He reminds me so much of Scottie Pippen. His body type, his intelligence, his ability to read what's happening at both ends, but particularly on defense, the instinct is there, and Andre, he knows that's going to be his job, and he's always up to the task. I don't think it could be that fun. Honestly, it can't be that fun to have to chase these guys around and try to stop them, but he does as good a job as anybody, I think.
Does that allow you to let him freelance a little bit more than you might let somebody else freelance defensively?
Yeah, I mean, Andre is he's our smartest defender. It's rare to see him be in the wrong place, and so if you put him in a kind of a rover role, center field role, he can see everything. But when you're playing Durant, there's not a whole lot of freelancing because you got to stay attached to him. So he does a great job, and he knows that just like all great defenders, Bruce Bowen was like this. You just try to make it as difficult as possible, and guys like KD are going to get their points. You just try to force them to hit tough shots and don't get discouraged when they make them.
You played in a couple Game 7s yourself. What memories stick out for you, particularly 98 when you guys knocked out the Pacers?
Well, it's great to be at home for Game 7. It's everybody sort of approaches it differently. I think according to your own personality, you can be nervous, you can be overhyped, you can be excited. But the biggest thing it's even though the game carries a lot of weight, and we're all desperate to win on both sides, you have to keep some perspective too. It's not the end of the world one way or the other. It's a basketball game. Go out and enjoy it, embrace it, and whatever happens, happens.
How do you manage to do that? You've mentioned fun a lot, and you know, all the pressure and your jobs are at stake in a way. How do you create an area to have fun in basketball?
I think just having players who already have a pretty good life perspective, have good balance in their lives, families, they understand, and it's easy to lose perspective at times with the pressure and the attention from the media, from the fans, everything else. But when you have guys who kind of get it, you know, you're able to sort of pair all those other things off. You know, you peel off the sides and you go, yeah, this is a basketball game. This is what we get to do for a living. They pay us a lot of money to do it. We're blessed. We're lucky, and so this is stuff we should embrace. And when you look back on it years later, I mean, I think about my 3 Game 7s, and I remember being nervous and excited, and I wish I could go back and play another one.
Steve, looks like the coach, 2 players that all appear to lose their confidence after they've missed several shots.
Yeah, I mean, Steph and Clay are as good as anybody I've ever seen in terms of just moving forward, taking the next shot, making the next play, not worrying about a miss or even several misses. And that's the right mentality. It's a difficult mentality to achieve for a lot of people, but not for them. They have so much belief. And I think they take so much joy out of the game and making shots and playing freely and loosely. It seems to come very naturally for both of them to just get out there and let it fly.
Steve, what are the potential pitfalls you have to safeguard against in Game 7?
Just don't overthink. You know, we have a pretty simple game plan. There's a few keys that we know we have to cover, and don't think about anything else other than, you know, what we have to do in the game. These guys have been playing basketball their whole lives, so everything comes pretty instinctively to them anyway. And but in a Game 7, you know, there's nerves, there's jitters, all that stuff. But once the game starts, just lock in and enjoy it.
As a couple guys mentioned after the game last night that just because they won Game 6 and going home now doesn't mean that the series is over. It's as if they're reminding themselves that just because you're at home, you can't afford to presume victory. Is that a potential concern at all?
No, no. I mean, our players already talked about it after the game. Doesn't guarantee anything. The only thing we guaranteed was one more game and on our home floor. So let's take advantage of that by being extra prepared and ready. And there's no chance of anybody letting their guard down. We're playing a great team. We know that. We got our hands full with them. They got their hands full with us. It's a great series, great basketball. And as I said, we should enjoy the challenge and the opportunity to be a part of it. You know, there's, I guess, 27 teams that are sitting at home wishing they could be in our shoes.
As a former player, is it frustrating to not be out there on the court? Or are you glad?
I can barely walk anymore, so.
I mean, like knowing that the kind of player that you were, is it frustrating to coach those games? Or?
No. I mean, it's. I have great memories of playing, and I do miss those days. But I had more than my fair share of opportunities to play, and you know, we all get older, we move on, and now I'm doing something that I love, and it's fun to be a part of this team and take on this challenge. It's different as a coach. It's you're thinking more about your players than yourself. As a player, you think about yourself. How do I prepare myself to play in this game? How do I get myself in the right frame of mind? And as coach, you're thinking about all your guys and trying to help each and every one of them.
You started Andre in the second half last night. Is that something you could see from the opening 6 minutes?
I don't know. We did it. We've never done it. Never changed at halftime. Last year, obviously, we started Andre in the finals for a few games, but we just felt like it made sense given the circumstances. I don't anticipate doing it to start the game tomorrow, but we're going to meet as a staff here in a few minutes, and we'll talk about all those things.
Mostly give the guys a day off their legs today.
Yeah, they have the day off. We're not going to watch film. It's a day to just re-energize and get treatment, get sleep, relax, and for Andre and Steph, they can watch some golf on their couch, and everybody else can get outside, get some sunshine, hopefully, and get ready for tomorrow.
How important is the coach for Game 7 mentally?
How important is what mentally is for me or for the players?
What you bring to the players?
Well, that's kind of our job as a staff, is to help our guys any which way, whether it's game planning or frame of mind, and so we try to help each and every one of them. Everyone's different. Everyone approaches the game differently, and I think we'll be ready.
Why do you think your smaller lineup was more effective last night than it had been during the series?
We didn't go to it until late. I mean, we did it a little bit in the first half, but I just think we battled harder on the glass. We were able to chase down more rebounds. I think Steph looked better last night. He looked bouncier. He looked livelier. Obviously, Steph is a huge part of our small lineup. We have to hit shots with that lineup for it to really work, especially against these guys, because their small lineup is lethal as well, but big. If that makes sense, it's a big small lineup. So it's a tough team we're playing against. They present so many challenges, and every night has been a little different. And they're very well coached. They're throwing wrinkles at us all the time, and we're trying to respond to that. And it's been a great series.
Would you consider the team's victory as a team effort?
Will I consider
the team victory as a team effort, as a teamwork?
I didn't quite. Would I consider the
team
as it? Yeah, I mean, it was a team. It was a team effort. I mean, everybody contributed. The guys on our bench were so energetic, and I thought that helped fuel our team. Just that joy and that passion that we have to play, and the bench guys picking everybody up. So it was a good night.
You mentioned momentum last week and just getting one win back to get that. I mean, do you feel 2 games that, 2 wins that you had to have coming back here, you have that a little bit?
Yeah, down 3-1, you have to approach it like win the next one and and we got obviously a big one last night to stay alive, and now we've got some momentum, but it can work in reverse. One game changes everything, and we've got to come out and play our game, play well to finish the series out.
Last question, is that it?
Great, thank you.
Our game, play well to finish the series out.
Last question, is that it?
Great, thank you.